Hello guys, it's Ben here back again with a vlog for the new channel. For anyone who may be a viewer of my other channel, Ben Spurs 21, you know I normally record, at home in my room, but I wanted to mix this up a little bit, so I've decided to embrace the outdoors and do a little bit of filming with some scenery in the background for you to enjoy. I know I speak a lot about mental health and the troubles I've gone through and what I do to combat that. But I actually wanted to talk about the other thing that's affected me even more, that's affected me pretty much since I was born. Autism. Some of you know, but for anyone who doesn't, I do suffer from autism. I've been diagnosed since about 2 years old from it. I've always been very different in the way I look at things in life, the way I act, the way I, perceive things of life. Even all the way from school, I used to always try to think differently from others. I would always, organise things. I've got very OCD. I'm very particular in the way I need everything. The way I line things up, the way things look. All my life through childhood, I was always I kept very much to myself, just because I enjoyed it that way, and that's how I always have been, to a degree. Even today I still am, maybe not to such an extreme, but there is definitely still days that I just want to, be away from the world and just be me. A lot of the time when I was at school, I would always never socialise with anyone. I would struggle to talk to people. I am socially not as comfortable as normal people are. Even today, I still feel nerves whenever I meet new people for the first time. It normally takes me a little bit of the hello, my name's blah blah blah, before I start to get fully comfortable around someone. It's been that way my whole life. And I found it a real struggle. Even through just normal days, like meeting people on the streets, or it took me a long time to go on nights out, just to interact with people because I was so socially insecure. I am a very inward person. I do struggle to pour out, what's going on in here. It's always been a problem, and I suppose a lot of my anxiety comes from hiding those problems. I've always had difficulty, with my speech, with understanding simple things, like many people will say you have to understand something a certain way, but I will always understand it in a different sense, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people initially don't quite get what I mean a lot of the time, and I now understand why. But a lot of the time in my young years, I found it very frustrating when people couldn't understand when something seemingly very simple, people would struggle to understand where I was coming from, because in my head I'm making everything perfectly clear, but to them I'm probably talking Russian rather than English. I find it very hard to express feelings, and even just from normal day-to-day stuff I have trouble, and I used to feel quite embarrassed by that. So I found it very, very challenging as a kid. Even today now, I don't. What's the right way of saying this? I don't feel absolutely comfortable with people until I've actually got to, get through the initial phase of meeting them, saying hello, It's always been there and it always will be there, and there's nothing I can do to change that. I will say that I've come a long way from, from my younger years, where I literally couldn't even look at people to say hello. I would just literally just put my head to the ground and just, if anyone ever said hello, I would just go hello, and then I would just put my eyes back on the floor. I could not cope with meeting people. Looking back, I find it really sad that both really sad but at the same time wondering if I could have done something different. But as I said, some people can't do it. There are people who just don't have the capability of, or don't have the same capability of other people to express themselves in public, or even just, with friends and family. So I'm still learning, I'm still trying to get better at it. I feel that I am making progress slowly but surely, and I want to keep improving on it. With regards to my autism, because this all leads back to, in a way, for me, autism and social anxiety are, in my life in particular, the two of them are quite closely bonded together, because that one directly impacts the other. I would have to go to quite extreme lengths to get comfortable, like for instance on nights out, I would easily need to drink goodness knows how much before I ever started feeling comfortable, around people. This is not to say I'm antisocial or anything, but I do, because I do love the interactions. When I go to, when I went to match days, everyone who came up to say hello, man, it really warms my heart inside, because it's so nice to meet people like that. But I do find it's hard for me to take the first step, and so if anyone out there has difficulty with it, all I can say is don't feel ashamed of it. People do struggle with it, and it's okay. Lots of people are suffering, but we've just got to work through it and just keep working. That's all we can do. As regards to my autism, it isn't quite at the same level it used to be when I was younger. Again, I learned quite recently, actually, when I first started to do YouTube, that I often used it as my sort of social escapade, if you will, my way of expressing myself. I've learned to free myself up, and it's, in a way, it's actually been really, really helpful, YouTube, and for me to express my social ability and learn a lot of skills through it, because for all of its flaws, for me at least, that's been one thing that's been really helpful for me through YouTube, is learning how to be more social and be more interactive, and learn how to communicate and with people, and learn how to interact better. And I feel like I've learned a lot from it. I don't ever want to lose that part of me that wants to be me and for days and just wants to be by myself, because you know, I like that. You know, I do like days where I just want to be free from the world, but I've learned to become more comfortable and, you know, with the world, I guess. You know, because that's what it felt like to me. You know, it felt like I was in a cocoon, and you know, that wouldn't get out of the hatch. You know, I've eventually learned to do that, and you know, anyone who struggles with autism, with social anxiety, just know there's other people out there. You know, we all need to help each other, and as I said, never lose sight of who you are. Like I always say, hashtag stay true, be you. That's it. Thank you, guys. I hope this has kind of helped you get to understand me a little bit. You know, if any of you are struggling, I hope it's helped you. And yeah, just as I said, keep on fighting. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again soon, guys.